Good evening, everyone. This is Henry Gambell with SimplerOptions.com, and in tonight's free video, I wanted to go over a couple different ways that we had been trading NVDA and how we looked at it into earnings. Now, as a general rule, and one of the things that I use to maintain discipline as I look for my trades is that most of the time, if I'm going to be buying a daily squeeze, I want to buy that daily squeeze when it's above its 50, 100, and 200-day moving averages. It's a very basic rule to use, and of course it doesn't always have to be applied in that way, but it's to give you the reasoning to say that, I did not get to buy NVIDIA back down in here, but I bought it once we had the breakout, so even though I was a little bit late to the party, how can you if there's still some fun to be had, how can you still participate in these moves? Well, the daily squeeze is the first piece of it. Then what I like to look at past that is dropping down into a 15-minute squeeze, because these tend to be excellent signals when you have the daily to your back, and of course with the idea of maybe having a little bit of euphoria into the earnings report. So you can see we had a nice 15-minute squeeze here that carried us from Tuesday's close into Wednesday. Then you had the exact same signal that carried you from Wednesday into Thursday, and then, as it turns out, another one of them into earnings. Now I ignore this one because into earnings is or for the report itself is very different than into earnings, but you can see here, this is one of the places that I've been trading it. So in tonight's video, I was going to show you 5 different ways that we were able to trade NVIDIA. The first of which, and this is showing you those two 15-minute gaps where you buy these on the 8th, you sell them on the 9th, about $3 higher. Then you progress on into the next day, initiate a new buy to open, and then sell those today when we got the gap up into about 260. Actually, 258 was the level that I was looking at. So that's 2 of those, and that's how you can take actionable signals with actionable trades. Okay, once the directional moves are behind us, that's when you start stepping into thinking a little bit more delta neutral. Now, I thought about going into this naked, but at the end of the day decided I'd feel a little bit better if I went into it with some risk definition. The core part of the idea is coming in and selling the 250 put, and then selling the 270 call against it. As we sit here after hours, a little bit down on this, into 250, but should still take in a nice premium here, and I think will be a perfectly fine way to play it. 2 other trades that we looked at, and of course a lot of this will depend on where we open up tomorrow, but these were 3 of those trades, and then the other 2 are here. So as far as the unbalanced butterfly is concerned, this is really about where you'd like to see a trade like this, because we initiate the trade for a credit. We were discussing this in the chat room this morning. You initiate the trade for a credit that gives you no upside risk. Now with the underlying sitting right here at 250, 150, this is actually exactly where you'd like for it to be, because a lot of the premium of those 250 puts will decay, but as opposed to just having the straight up put credit spread, we also have an in the money put that will help the butterfly mature a little bit better. Now the other trade, and the one that may be something that I kind of have to look at managing tomorrow depending on where we open, but this is the idea of doing an iron fly, which is just a modified way of looking at a short straddle. So the short straddle would be the 260. The way that I look at it is to say if the core part of this idea is the short 260 straddle, and you took in a $13.65 credit on it, that means you have $13.65 of wiggle room on each side of 260. So since we're only down here about $8, that means that the spread should come in for us, making somewhere between $4 or $5. So this one should be excellent right there on 250. This one I would like to see a little bit of a bid to, and this is just the full layout of how we have been trading this into earnings and for the report itself, and I think can be very helpful the next time you find a similar situation. So I hope you find that helpful. You guys have a great Friday, and we'll see you at the next free video.